and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. We are live here on Talk Talk Live. Let me just fix my seat, God damn it. Live on IG and YouTube. We are back and ready to attack with, I took my red pill cap off just the other day, which was Sunday. It was a great show on how single mothers can find outlets, male role models for their kids, especially their male kids. But we are back here live tonight. Got my red pill hat back on, if you can call it the purple pill. Yeah, you can call it that too. Have the hat back on. But how are you doing this week? How's everything going? We are back. We are live. We are here on Talk Talk Live on IG, YouTube. And yes, soon to come, TikTok. We are endeavoring to go on TikTok soon and very soon. Sponsored by Talkdtalk.com, DUNTALK.com. Like, subscribe, comment. And we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Indeed. So, we're back. And we're going to talk about a topic that really gets my goat. This is the one topic, I had to come back with a topic like this because this is a topic that I sincerely believe needs to be said. The topic today is why women period are not 10s. You hear it throughout social media and in most media these days how women have called themselves 10s. It's like the going trend. It's like, despite your past experiences, your looks, however God made you, or however you came to be who you are today, you are still a 10. You are still perfect. You are still beyond reproach. Ladies, let me enlighten you. There's a reason why men are not perfect. It's because we have to make ourselves into some sort of perfection. We come with flaws, period. We come with an instructional device, an instructional manual. We have to build ourselves. We have a blueprint to which makes us men whom we are. Now, again, we could be built with great genetics. You could be given good looks over time. And that can only bring you part of the way. And, make you an 8. What makes you a 9 or 10 is what you do on this earth. Hello to everybody on YouTube. How are you? Hope everything is well. Like, subscribe, comment on YouTube and on Instagram. We are back. We are live here. So, it's just something that men understand, is that we are not perfect. We are never born perfect. We have to make ourselves into some meaning of perfection. We cannot be perfect in and of itself. We have to make ourselves perfect, either through financial abilities, through game, through getting in the gym, through our financial wherewithal. Try to make ourselves as perfect as we can be. We know we don't come perfect. What stuns me is the fact that ladies see this as the other way around. They see themselves as, even though they've had misgivings, even though they've had different, circumstances happen to them, even though they may have kids, even though they've been, there are certain circumstances that let them know they're not perfect, they still consider themselves perfect. And I guess that's honorable. I guess, it's all well and good that you can, be you consider yourself perfect. But the fact of the matter is, in the eyes of the world, you're not. And we're here to show you why not tonight on Talk Talk Live. Thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live here. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So let's get it started. We're going to just go to the browser right now. We're going to go to the browser cam so you can have a look here on YouTube. There we go. And yes. I hope you can see that. Hope we can get that on YouTube there. Let me just see if I have everything. Yes, we do. We are good to go. So I'm going to just play you this video by Wheat Waffles. Now, again, I know that Kendra G has already done a take on this, and she did a pretty good job. But I'm going to do my own take on this video and break down from a man's perspective why women are not 10s. So let's lead off with the video with this. Well, if you you see on Talk Live, this average looking lady, and you can hear the statement that she has to say straight off the bat. If you're on YouTube, you can see it right now. Let's go. So, with a great personality, she goes to school. She's been to school. She goes to work. That should automatically consider her a 10. Gentlemen, if you're out there on IG or YouTube, you tell me, if a man goes to work, comes home, does his honorable duties at work, gets paid for them, come home. Now, he may not be the richest man in the world, but he's a man, he's done his duty. Troy, how are you doing, Troy? Troy, if you're a man, you've gone to work, and you were paid for it, you did your best, you pay your taxes, you are a good citizen. Are you a 10? I ask my gentleman in the audience, off rip, are you a 10? The sound of silence is deafening. There's a reason why there's a sound of silence. It's because we're not. Just because you have a job, just because you're human, just because you pay bills, we are not 10s. Even the best looking among us cannot consider them to be 10s. To be fair and frank, no one on this earth is a 10 because nobody's perfect. Let's just leave it there. Let's start there. No one on this earth is a 10. Nobody's perfect. But ladies think they're perfect. I don't know who gave us this high sense of self, but they're entitled to their opinion. But the world knows different, and it tells them different. And we're going to go into the reasons why the world is right and they are wrong. So let's just advance this a bit further. Again, this is the video from Wheat Waffles Delusion. 8 reasons ugly women think this. But it's basically a show. It's basically a breakdown of why women's aren't 10s. So let's go with it. That is absolutely outstanding. He said it in a couple words. Women have this God gift, this God-given sense of entitlement. That the world owes them something. That the world owes them a 10 out of 10. Their looks, their deeds, all that be damned. Their self-esteem needs that 10, and they will give it to themselves when the world knows different. They have a chip on their shoulder the size of Mount Everest, and they dare you to knock it off. We're gonna knock it off tonight. We're gonna knock it off tonight. Why women aren't 10s? Continue, sir. You're doing God's work. that? Men. If this is 2023. Stop simping. Stop it. Stop simping. Stop validating all types of women at any size, at any age, at any look. Why? Because they'll take that within and say, you know what? They have all these men chasing me. I may be a 3, I may be a 2, I may be a 1, but I have all these men chasing me, all these men throwing me. Let's just go back here for a second. They're throwing me money, validation, and attention. And once they've been given that money, validation, and attention, guess what? They think they're 10s. At any point in the beauty spectrum, they think they're 10s. Because there's enough of you out there giving them reason why they should be considered 10s. You're giving them money. You're giving them validation. They usually throw it, as the narrator just said, they usually throw that money at the top 20% of ladies. The 8, 9s, and 10s. They throw it at them first. When they know that they cannot win with those ladies, they'll throw it at the second group. You know, the average-looking ladies, the adjustable 6s, the 6, the 5s. They'll throw it to them. And they know that they can't get anywhere with them because, you know, listen, women are hypergamous. They'll always date up. So they'll always go as high as their looks will take them. So they'll always look forward and always look up. Even though the 8, 9s, and 10s of men will not even look at them. So they'll try to date at their level, but they'll never date below. But remember, it is the least among us that give them that ego shot. And then you have the lower tier. Then you have the bottom of the barrel, as we said in the streets. The bottom of the barrel of ladies will get Sim's attention. Those are the let's throw this scenario out there. You ever been on a night out? And this is a 6 moment. This is a six saying. Where when you're out there, you know, vulturing, or you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. What makes a 10? Thank you, Narissa. What makes a 10 for a lady? Nothing makes a 10 for a lady. No lady is perfect. Don't ask what makes a 10. We're telling you, you know what makes a 10 or near a 10? I'll let you know in the end. You got to stick around. But anything that you think makes a 10 as a lady, because we're the usual arbiters of that, okay? Just letting you know. We're the usual adjudicators of what makes a 10. I'll let you know what makes a 10 at the end of the show, but don't worry. But anyways, getting back to my end of night scenario at a nightclub. Usually hanging around a parking lot, you pick, you choose. Usually the better ones have gone home already because listen, they don't need any more validation. They've already got their men. They've been picked over to death. They don't want to be there. They want out of there. They're out early. They're usually out at 1 o'clock. Because they don't need to be in a club now. They're done. Said, I've already been validated. I've already know I'm an 8, 9, or 10. I've been hit on all night, and it's tiring me. I'm going home. Then you're left with the adjustable 6s. Usually the 6s are gone too. But the 5s and down. Those are usually the ones that are left in the club. Unless the 8, 9s, or 10s are, well, 8s or 9s are usually, you know, inebriated or they're celebrating their birthday and they're out late. But usually the prettier ones are gone by 1:30. They're out of there. So you have the bottom half. So you have all these simps around looking for, you know, sexual expression. They're looking for a place to release. So, what do? They traipse around the parking lots. They traipse around the end of the night in the clubs, scraping around for the 5s and below. So you're giving them instant validation. Instant. Listen, all men have been a part of this, so no one's immune. No one is immune to this. None. But while you're doing this, guess what? These ladies are getting in their heads that, oh, I have all these men hitting on me. No matter how they look, because they don't rank looks. They rank attention, because that's what they want. They want attention. You give them no attention, they see themselves in lower rank. You give them attention, automatically their ego's boosted, now they think they're a 10. That's why I say it doesn't pay to be a simp. Stop simping, gentlemen. Stop simping. I should put a t-shirt out there. I really should. Stop simping for these ladies, because it results in a market that becomes diluted. Ladies' egos become inflated, and at the end of the day, it serves you no purpose. They all think they're 9s and 10, 8, 9s and 10s because they are validated by 1s or 2s or 3s by the the sub 5s, the average guys, and listen, listen, the guy, the Chaz and Tyrones of the world don't even look at ladies beneath them that level, because they're already been. Listen, the 5s and 6s have already thrown their dice to them. The 2s, 3s, the 2s, 3s, 4s, they don't even look at those Chaz because they know they have no shot, none, unless they give them sexual favors, and even then, they have to be pretty darn drunk and hard up to even think about it. But even then, it's like, what's the point? It's like, I'm getting 8, 9s, and 10s, getting me off. Why would I need you here? Get out, leave. I got enough. I don't need you. So when you give them money, when you give 2, 3s, and 4s money value, money validation, and attention, that's a problem. That's simping. You want to know what simping is? Simping is when you know the lady doesn't deserve the validation, doesn't deserve the attention, doesn't deserve the money, but you give it to her anyway because you're horny. That's simping. That's a waste of time. It's better to work on yourself than to give them that attention, give them that validation, give them that money, because that inflates them. Now they think they're 10s. Now they think they're as good as top tier. It's just because they're getting, I wouldn't say the most type of validation, but the same amount of validation, but from lesser looking gentlemen. That's why I make a strict policy. Listen, unless she's a 6 or above, I don't even want to speak to. I don't want to do it. Nope. Unless she's a 6, don't want to do it. And listen, this includes, dare I say it, ladies with kids. Why? Here's the reason why. Because having children counts as demerit points on your scale, ladies. I'm sorry, it's true. Ask any gentleman. They count as a half point to a point off of your sexual marketplace value. So if you're a 6, you have kids, it can become a 4. If you're a 5, you have kids, it become a 3. If you're a 4, you have kids, it become a 2, a 1. That's if you have 1 or 2. But every kid is a demerit point. It is. Ask any man. Ask any man. Any man worth their salt, any man who's honest with you will tell you that. They'll tell you that. Those points are knocked off. So, number one reason why these ladies consider themselves 10s, simps tell them so. They give the money validation and attention needlessly, and so they consider themselves as good as the top tier lady. Oh my God, my hubby was simping in the parking lot and found. Good point. Okay, nice one there, my girl Narissa. Well, listen, I don't know how you look, Narissa. Myself, I don't know how you look, but again, love can be found in parking lots. Let's say that. Hey, I'm not saying that they're not there, but love can be found in parking lots. It can be found in parking lots. So, again, it's not an issue or anything as such, but love can be found in parking lots. So we give you that. But again, let's move on with the story. So, gentlemen, stop simping. Just stop it. When you're simping on these ladies, guess what? You boost their ego. Now they think they're a 9 or 10, and that's a problem. Let's continue. Sorry.
Beyond return. And all that's been left is the guys at the bottom have now lost a ridiculous amount of their own time, energy, and resources, and all for nothing. Now, the last point.
There it is. Why lose your time, energy, and resources, gentlemen, just to try and get a lady in the sack? Is it worth it? You gotta do the cost benefit analysis, guys. You really do. You got to say to yourself, oh, okay, for a certain amount of money, for a certain amount of time, for a certain amount of dates, is she worth it? You got to ask if she's worth it. Let me get a drink. You got to ask if she's worth it. The one thing about being here at these new locations is that you can pour yourself a drink anytime you like. Cheers. So, let us move. Stop giving them your time, energy, and resources, gentlemen. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of your money. If you are of a certain look, of a certain stature, I understand if you're beneath and you have to prop these ladies. I mean, like for like, like for like. But seriously, really? Think about it, guys.
I'm going to make on this before I move on to the next reason is this is exactly why I have zero sympathy for simps. Because the only impact that simps have on the dating market is inflating women's egos, which in turn messes up the system and spoils it for anyone else who actually had a chance. Anyway, now moving on to point number 2.
Excellent point. Excellent end of point. Simps suck. He's literally telling you simping sucks. And simps are idiots. You give a woman who's a 2, 3, or 4 your validation, time, energy, money, and it throws the dating market out of whack. It actually throws the Western world out of whack, because you add feminism to that. You add simping and feminism to the equation. Oh, snap, player. You create a monster. You create an absolute monster with that. Feminism mixed with simping men on a night out. That's all they need. That's because a woman looks, craves validation and attention. They love it. They crave it. That's the reason why Instagram, that's the reason why TikTok is in business. So that people can look at them, like them, love them. Before it used to be within their town, now it's international. And the Western world has gone crazy because of it. The Western dating world has gone crazy because of it. And that's the issue. That's the problem. There you go. At the end of the day, feminism can only does a certain part, but don't contribute to them by simping, gentlemen. It is an absolute crock, because these ladies will not date with you, sleep with you, unless you're of a certain look. Let's just face facts. Sometimes you gotta pay for it. Sometimes you gotta improve. It's better for you to spend your time in the gym, work on your game, work on your diction, work on your skills as a man, than to go out and provide these ladies any sort of validation or any sort of attention. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna date who they're gonna date, and they're gonna sleep who they're gonna sleep with. Don't give them any sort of benefit of the doubt. Don't give them any sort of validation, because if you do, they'll make you pay for it. They will.
For why women overestimate their worth. Women equating their hookup options to their actual value. Now, because of the nature of the current dating market,
right there. Gentlemen, I want you to hear this and hear this good. This is letting you know, I'm giving the inside look at what the dating market looks like. For the rest of your life, understand this. Average women will always try to date up. They're always hypergamous. They'll always try to date the chads. Or guys who they feel are attractive. If you are not deemed attractive, but they see potential in you, they'll friend zone you. They'll put you in the friend zone. So therefore, if they need money, if they need assistance, if they need a meal, if they need any sort of help, you are the emergency break glass guy. You're not the first one they run to. You're the third, fourth, fifth string. They pull you off the bench. You ain't starting. Think of it that way. To put it in basketball leagues, you're not on the court. You're not the starting five. You're the 6th, 7th, 8th man, 9th man, 10th man. That's you. You may come in and be the 6th man and get some valid points. You may be, the 7th guy or the 8th guy. You may be that rotational guy, but you're not the starting five. The starting five are usually the chads, are the ones that most women can't get. Those are the friend zone guys. And we've all been there. Let's say most gentlemen have all been there. If you don't have money, if you don't have power, if you don't have status, if you don't have looks of a Chad or a Tyrone, we've all been there. We've all been there. We've all been friend zoned in some way, shape, or form. Majority of men have. And it's only after they've run through, well, they'll explain it in a minute. It's only after they've hooked up with the Chads and they're deemed as leftovers and they're seen as, this is what the whole phase is all about. That 18 to 29-year-old phase of women, that's what the whole phase is all about. Women trying to get Chads. Women trying to get with the highest form of man they can find. Shagging them. Because again, men see it as sport. They see women as a sport. They say, okay, let me dabble here, let me dabble there. It's good exercise. I like it. It's a sport. And then they complain back to the friend zone guys of how these guys are so awful and they've done them wrong and they need a shoulder to cry on. That's where the friend zone guys come in. You're the shoulder to cry on. When all is lost, they go to the friend zone. But sometimes it's too late. Because after the Chads have run through them or they become pregnant through the Chads, guess who they want to clean up the mess? The friend zone guy. That's where a lot of these ladies who've had the 2 or 3 kids, they go for the friend zone guy because they know they're out of options now. They can't go for Chads anymore. They can't go for Tyrone anymore. He's already gone to the elite. So those guys they left in the friend zone, that's their insurance policy. They come back and they say, oh, come save me. Come and save me. I'm in a predicament. I'm in a bind. Come save me. But guys, one thing you got to realize, these women aren't 10s. Number 2, you have to treat them with impunity. What does that mean? Once they've served their time, if you wish to leave, make sure that your papers are in order and you leave. You go. Because they've used you and put you in the friend zone, you must turn around and use them as sport. If you can, that is. Because they've been running that game on you for, sexual age 16, maybe up to 29, 30, that's when things come back to normal guys who do the right thing, who see the right path, who've planned their careers, who've been in the gym, who've worked on themselves, who've worked on their craft, who've worked on their earnings potential. That's where revenge comes in. But you can only do this if you do it right. You must do it right. Meaning, as a man once said, you must stay focused. You must stay focused. Let's move on.
The women's attention is all focused on the top 10 to 15% of guys who they are able to hook up with, but not willing to give their commitment. Women, just because you can hook up with someone doesn't mean you're on their level, and certainly doesn't mean you can get commitment from them either. Moving on to point number 3, acceptance of
Gentlemen, realize this again. Realize this. Just because you can sleep with them doesn't mean that you can be with them. They still long for the Chad. They still long for the Tyrone. If your game is tight, if your money's right, if your body's together, then they'll see you as that, that guy they bring off the bench and say, okay, give him minutes, give him minutes, give him minutes, give him time. See where this goes. But that's only if you've taken advantage of the opportunity. Luck is where opportunity and preparation meet. And if you're lucky, you can get with an 8, 9, or 10. But you must be prepared for it. You must be prepared to get out of the friend zone, especially for ladies who are worth it. The adjustable 6s and above. You must be prepared for it. That's why we all tell you, stay focused, stay on your path, chase money, not women. Because if you chase money, women chase you. Stay on your purpose. Okay, I said that all the time. Stay on your purpose. Work towards being a high value man, because at the end of the day, that's where you win. And that's where you can dismiss of these 10s, these pseudo 10s, these fake 10s out there. And there are many. 90% of the women are fake 10s. They'll have you believe I'm a 10, I pay bills, and I go to work. And I go to school. Oh my God. Next.
attractiveness, and this does not apply to men. It's almost exclusively for women, and this is mostly the result of feminism. Now, this idea in the last 10 years has pretty much stepped in and said all women, irrespective of their own attractiveness, are all deserving of a perfect 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I've already pointed out on Talk to Talk Live, and I say it again. Let me see if there's anything on. Are we good? Thank you. As we pointed out on Talk Talk Live, and I say again, ladies and gentlemen, feminism and body positivity and body neutrality and fat acceptance have fed these ladies a false narrative, believing that they deserve to be considered 10s, no matter what size they are. So that 128 to 165 range, that 16 to 25% body fat range, that under 30 BMI range, don't dismiss that. Just dismiss everything regarding genetic studies for the last 30,000 years. No. If you're considered fat, you're still considered a 10. Take a look at the Dove ad campaigns for women these days. Take a look at the old Navy campaign for women these days, which actually Old Navy's taking a dive on, quite simply, so they're disbanding that. As of next year, as of 2023, Old Navy's not going to be catering to larger sizes anymore because they see it's a revenue disaster. So feminism with body positivity, body neutrality, fat acceptance has created a monster. One big fat monster. Yes, I said it. One big fat monster. When men are fat, we know we're not 10s. We know it. We know it from the off. You can't tell us twice. And if any man thinks he's a 10 and fat, we check them on that. See, that's the difference. Here, you see? When men see fat, we check them on that. We throw jokes at them, throw jabs at them. It's all in a way of getting them either to shape up or, they can be comfortable in their skin. Who cares? But you know what? We laugh it off. But at the end of the day, it is a check. I've been a victim of that for many a year. But what did I do about it? I got in the gym. I got myself in shape. That's what I did about it. That's what most men do about it. That's what most men do about it. But, not so you ladies. No, you believe that propping up their ego, telling them they're beautiful, telling them that health standards be damned, you are still a 10, is valid. Let me take a drink on that. You would rather tell them the ugly lie. No, sorry. You'd rather tell them the pretty truth than the ugly lie. You'd rather do that. Tell them the pretty lie than the ugly truth. There you go. I got it right. Sorry about that. I did get it right. Tell them the pretty lie than the ugly truth. Just to stroke their egos enough to say that I'm a 10. Seriously? And you want to be considered equals? Seriously? Continue.
This belief system has tried to force down society's throat that all women, of all shapes and sizes, are all attractive in their own unique way. It is seen as grossly inappropriate to highlight the flaws in a woman's beauty, even if said flaws pose a huge risk to their physical health and can greatly reduce their life expectancy.
Excellent point. Yes, I pointed this out on Talkdtalklive on a few occasions. We're supposed to lie to women even though it impacts their health, even though it shortens their life. You know being fat shortens your life by exponential degrees. Have you ever seen my 600-pound life? Do you think those people are going to live long? Even a 300-pound woman, even a Lizzo, do you think she's going to live long? Do you think she's going to live long and prosper? You tell me. Tell me you think Lizzo, the poster child for fat acceptance and feminism, the congruence of said activities, for lack of a better word, of said movements, there you go, of said movements. Do you think she's going to live long? Seriously. As talented as she is. She's a very talented lady. Let's not. No. But the fact of the matter is, she does not want somebody who looks like her. No. She wants a Chad. She wants a Tyrone. Because she thinks her money can give her that. Do you think any Chad or Tyrone would stay with her for long at her size? ask the question again. Do you think a Chad or Tyrone will stay with Lizzo at her size for any lengthy period of time? Answer that question for yourself. Answer it. I'll give you time. Despite her money, do you think they're going to stay with her? Chad Evans already told her nicely, go away. She started crying on Instagram or TikTok. Started crying. We're supposed to feel sympathy for that. We're supposed to stroke that ego again so she can consider herself a 10 all over again. It's a vicious cycle. One that any fat man worth their salt would never. Some men like fluff. Thank you for your comment there, Cass. I appreciate it. You know I do. But that's a niche market. Fluffies are a niche market. Because think of it this way. Do you think fat men call themselves fluffies? That are not part of the pink alternative? Do you think men would call themselves fluffies? Don't tell me. Do you think fluffies? Let's use your nomenclature. Do you think fluffies would look to their equals, fat men, as being tens, as being their heart's desire? What's that? Floofas? Oh, floofas. Floofas, fluffies. Jesus. Cottonelle kittens. What the hell? Oh my God. The fact of the matter is you don't see your equals as being good enough. Fat men are not floofas. Don't call a fat man a floofa. Really and truly. You will get the shock of your life. Don't call him floofas. No, seriously. Unless he's part of the pink alternative, don't call him fluffy, please. 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 It's, oh, God. They would not rather be called fluffies. Believe me. Believe me. Believe me. Don't do it. I know you're just playing. I know you're just playing. But at the end of the day, as you're saying, Cass, that is a niche market. That is about 5% of the market. The fact of the matter is, these floofas think that they are catered to the top Chads and Tyrones. But they know good and well, darn well they shouldn't be part of the normies, as they're called. The average men, for Christ's sake. But to go around considering yourself a 10 is an absolute misrepresentation in legalese. It's a misrepresentation. And you should stop that. I read an article a couple weeks back that you know what should be advocated in terms of the feminist movement? Not body positivity, fat acceptance, body neutrality. Women who go to the gym, stay fit, and have beat the odds to be the best they can be. Because men are heralded for being the best they can be. Why not women? This is the thing. That's the thing that you're not getting. Let us continue.
Therefore, they are instead celebrated. And I've talked about this in my previous videos. I'll say again, try typing the words plus size into Google. There will not be one man in sight. In fact, I could bet money that you'd be scrolling for longer than the length of this video in order to just find one single man. Moving on to point number 4. The media
There it is. You go ahead. Try Googling plus size in Google. See if you can find a man there. See if you can find it. And he's right. You won't. You won't find it. Why? I work out 6 days a week, getting back in. Well, that's good, Cass. I appreciate that. Most men would appreciate that. We appreciate the struggle. Anybody who goes to the gym, that's who we reward. People who are in the struggle. We don't reward people who sit on their ass. That's the one difference between women and men. We don't reward people who sit on their ass and do nothing. That's a man's way of doing things. We celebrate action. We celebrate taking hold of oneself, grabbing oneself by the bootstrap, and getting out there and working hard. That's who we celebrate. I will always celebrate women who want to get fit. But I won't celebrate quitters. No man celebrates quitters. So, once the media stops celebrating bigger sized women, ending their lives early, a real-time suicide, because that's what it is. A real-time suicide, only then will men celebrate you. Only then will men celebrate you. Because at the end of the day, this is the whole body positive movement, they're all, it's either a pink alternative / women's movement. You won't see men there. Guaranteed. You know why? Because what purpose does it serve for us? Getting a lesser woman? Oh yeah, that's our end all and be all. We want that. We have a new comment here. When I am back into shape, I'll go back to 3 or 4 days a week. Okay, well that's what I'm talking about, Cass. That's what I'm talking about. That's all I'm asking. That's what any man would ask. You stay and try and work and do what's necessary, diet, exercise, in order to get yourself there. Because at the end of the day, men have a different scale. And if you're big, if you're fat, you're at the lower end of it. We continue.
Voting delusion. Now, before I cover this point, because I'm about halfway through the video, now is a good time to press the like button and leave any thoughts you have in the comments below. In fact, the book that it was based on was one of the highest grossing of the decade. And if you've not heard of this film or the book before, it's basically about this billionaire Chad who goes for and ends up in a relationship with some fairly average woman. A similar storyline happens in other movies and TV shows, such as the highly acclaimed Sex and the City. This series, too, showed women, despite being in their 30s and 40s, still being able to pin down and get commitment from Chads. So the point I'm trying to make here is that the media is portraying the idea that any woman, irrespective of what she brings to the table, can get a relationship from a Chad, no matter how old or average.
There is a huge point there, guys. When you look at movies like 50 Shades of Grey, when you look at TV shows like Sex and the City, what are they based on? Average women, 5s and 6s, getting Chads. Getting the 8, 9s, or 10s. The best looking, the ones who made the most money relatively every week. Average women getting the best of men every single week. Building up this idealistic world that any woman can walk up to the best among us men and build a relationship, if not marry those gentlemen. Let me kill those dreams now. Usually, if you are a Chad or a Tyrone or the top tier in terms of looks, as a man, and you have it together, you're going for the best woman. You're going for an 8, 9, and 10 in terms of females. That's why you never see stars, really. On the odd occasion you do. Okay, sure. But the majority of them, they marry knockouts. Look at Hollywood. You do not see an average-looking lady 90% of the time with movie stars. They don't. They don't exist. They do not exist. I'll go as high as 95%. Let's go there. A good case in point. Let's say Denzel's wife. Now Denzel's wife has a very lovely-looking lady, but would you consider her an 8, 9, or 10? Not really. Not really. But Denzel's wife, solid lady, lovely lady, but would she be considered a model? Would she be considered a lady who was let into VIP early? Now I'm giving you a little bit of the game away, but you'll find out at the end of the end of the show why that indeed is important. But she was there with Denzel when he first started out. When he was not making anything. When he was going from gig to gig to gig, trying to make it. She was there for him. And guess what? For her being there for him, through all this, through all the trials, through all the tribulations, guess what? She was rewarded for her time and effort with Denzel, and they formed a long-lasting friendship relationship. That's the only time when a Chad will get with an average-looking woman, a 5 or 6. And there's nothing wrong with average. Let me say that, ladies. Nothing wrong with average. Thank you. When he had nothing. That's right, Cass. When he had nothing, that's when Denzel said, you know what? You were with me from day one. I'm a loyal guy. You're coming with me. That's how Denzel's woman stayed with him. Because, again, she's an ordinary lady. She is. Let's face facts. She's not she's not appearing on Vogue. She's not appearing in Essence. She's not appearing on Sports Illustrated. Not doing it. He was faithful man to her. Exactly, Cass. There you go. That's a perfect example of that. But let it be said, that's not normal. That is not normal. If a Chad knows he's a Chad, guess what he's doing? He's getting himself a beautiful lady at the end of the day. Because he knows his worth and he's going to go after the best. He is. So for the average lady to focus all their attention on Chads who they, unless you're absolutely lucky like Denzel's wife, like Ms. Washington, is delusional. It's silly. Get your head out of the clouds and start building with reality. Because 50, 60 years ago, that was indeed the case. You didn't have a Sex in the City. You didn't have a what's that movie again there? You didn't have 50 Shades of Grey. It should be. Oh, Cass. Oh, Cass. You're going against all forms of anatomy and biology and sex dynamics and biological dynamics and archaeology since the dawn of time. Just going against it. So why fight it? Why are you going after guys who aren't going to give you a second glance? Why? Who you will be seen as a pump and dump. Try to trap him through pregnancy? Okay, fine. Shoot your luck. Lord knows Drake's been on that road all too often. We're to a point where he has to put hot sauce in his condoms every time he's done with them because these ladies have an idea that, though I'm ordinary, I'm going to still trap him. You think he's going to stay with you because of that? Hell no. But we continue. This is part of the delusion. This is part of the reason why women consider themselves 8, 9s, and 10s. because the media has told them that. They say, oh yeah, you're an ordinary girl, but you can get your Chad and Tyrone. What? Are you mad? Sorry, I had to fall into my English program. Are you mad? Get real, ladies. Please get real. Next.
Now moving on to point number 5, ego. Now, I didn't know just how big of a reason this was until I came across this scientific study titled Resisting Connection Following Social Exclusion. Now, this study attempted to see how a woman would react when first being approached by an attractive man and then afterwards being approached by a less attractive man. The results were as...
Just before we get into that, we have a comment here saying that men and women should be attracted to each other's soul. Cass, you're killing me. Cass, you're killing me. Cass, you're killing me. You're killing me. I'm saying that should be and how. Oh, God. Do you believe in your heart of hearts that's true? Even for you ladies, do you think that in your heart of hearts that is indeed true? You have this idyllic look at love, look at relationships, look at romance. That doesn't exist. It never existed. Guys have always graded ladies on looks. We are aesthetic to the core. Sorry, ladies, it's true. You are rated on your beauty, on your youth, and on your womb and how young it is. That's the ultimate barometers of a lady. Did you hear anything about money? Career? Assets? No. No. Because it's never been that way. You are rated on yourself, on your looks, as you come out the room. That's why women are built with value. Because we see value in how you look, how you come out of the womb. So you come out with value. We have to build our value as men. So listen. I wouldn't say, listen. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, ladies. If a man sees you as an 8, 9, nobody's a 10. If they see you at an 8, 9, or 10, well, that's their business. But the world, when you're put out in the open market, that's your real value. When you're put out in the open market, when you're judged on your outcomes, as the Godfather said, R.I.P. Godfather. You're judged on your outcomes. And I'm going to show you the real reason where you really rate to a man. And how you are judged on your looks. Another comment. Okay, to be real, I have to be attracted to him physically, whether it's a smile, the way he walks, something, then his intelligence, then his... Yeah, of course. You got to run down the gamut. We have another comment. So I came in late. What scale are you going off on? Well, yeah. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Cass, for your comments. The scale I am going off on is, well, it's... I'll tell you that at the end. But what we are doing here to you ladies who may be late, the topic is why you are not 10s. Stop saying it. It's embarrassing. It's a turn off to men. Let's say that. It's a turn off. Men don't like it. I should have said that earlier in the show, but I'll say it now. It's a turn off to men. It really is. What is the end? You gotta stay tuned. I gotta finish this. Hold on there, Narissa. Hold on. Let's continue.
Followed. When the attractive man accepted the woman was also very likely to accept the less attractive man. In fact, he was accepted an average of 80%. Now, this isn't surprising, because
So let's just stop there for a second. This happens on dating apps all the time. I have a few comments here. When is the okay? We know about the end. No one is a 10. Thank you, Leslie, for that. I've always said that. No one is a 10. 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 And again, and we women detest men who think they are 10. What man says they're a 10? You tell me. What man in his right mind will say he's a 10? Tell me. You tell me. I kid you not, you can count them on one hand in your lifetime because they don't go around talking about 10s. Only ladies do. You have another comment. It's a busy night tonight. I couldn't hear. Okay, well, again, go on to YouTube, Talk Live. You can hear it all there. Don't just stay on Instagram. Go to YouTube, Talk Live. We are playing it there. You can hear it in its perpetuity right there for yourself. And you can comment there as well. So, like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate you being with me here today. Why women aren't 10s? What is your score, Elliot? Well, you know what? I would consider myself a 5 or a 6. I say it, yeah. I'm okay. I have certain cuteness to me, but I'm definitely not an 8. I'm definitely not a 9. Definitely not a 10. I would say I'm a 6. I say I'm a 6. That's where I am. I'm okay looking. Don't have any great features on me. I'm a 6. I work out. I do as best I can. I'm level-headed. I'm a 6. There it is. So in answer to your question, I'm a 6, Narissa. But again, getting back to my point here. And this happens on dating apps all the time. That's why women only swipe right 5% of the time, when men swipe right 45 to 50% of the time. You know why? Because once a woman is accepted by a man, if they get some sort of reciprocation once of their interest from men, especially 8, 9, and 10 from the Chad and Tyrones, they get this automatic lift. They get this automatic endorphin in the brain that says to them, "Hey, I feel good about myself. Oh yeah, this good-looking guy likes me, so I feel generous. So let me go after this average-looking guy here because I want to feel charitable. So I'll give him a like too." And it keeps them on there for most of the time. But usually what happens is these Chads or Tyrones reject them. Most ordinary ladies. Because they're looking for the best of the best of the best. Because they're the best of the best of the best themselves. So, once they're rejected by the Chad from the better looking guy, guess what? Then how shall I say this? The border crossing is closed. And nobody's getting by now. Until there's an investigation as to why I am not a 10. Why am I being rejected by this Chad? So, you're getting rejected, you're getting rejected, you're getting rejected, and you're getting rejected. Just to exact some sort of revenge for my rejection. And that's why women only swipe right only 5% of the time. Because the Chads, once they've been seen by the Chads and they've been rejected by the Chads, they don't want to swipe right anymore. They don't want to swipe right anymore. They say, "I'm out of it. You're getting rejected, you're getting rejected, you're getting rejected because he rejected me and I want to feel better about myself." And scene. Continue.
It shares such close parallels to the current dynamics of the dating market. Because think about online dating, and for those who don't know how the Tinder algorithm works, the most popular profiles are shown first. So these are shown at the top of the card stack, and are the first profiles a woman will see after logging on. Meanwhile, the less attractive profiles are shown last. Therefore, if an average or below average woman gets mostly negative responses from the popular profiles, the attractive ones, then the study shows the woman getting butthurt from this will result in her lashing out on the lower ranked profiles.
There you go. I just explained it to you. I'll explain it again. Look at Tinder. Do you all subscribe to Tinder? If you're out in the audience, if you're listening live, or if you are listening on playback? on Talk Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We are like, subscribe, comment. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. You see, Tinder wants your interest. They want you ladies to come on board and to subscribe. So they're going to give you the most attractive, the Chads, the Tyrones first. That's who they give you. And you'll always think, yes, I want them, I want them, I want them. But once those Chads and Tyrones run out, the best of the best run out, then they throw everybody else in there. The average types and the sub-5s in there as well. They throw average-looking men and sub-5 men. And depending on how you are accepted by the Chads and Tyrones, the top-tier looking gentlemen, you will either give a few likes more to the average or below average gentlemen, the sub-5s, or the normies as they're called. Or, if you're rejected by these Chads and Tyrones, the best of the best, guess what? You're going to exact revenge on every other individual, sub-5s and normies available. So you're going to just, not you, not you, not you, because you want your retribution. Men don't operate like that. We know it's a big pool, and we better get in and start swimming. So wherever my arms take me, my legs take me, I'm going there. So I'm swiping right. We know it's a numbers game. Whoever comes back is who we deal with. That's the difference. Ladies are very much sensitive about being rejected by Chads and Tyrones. That's how dating apps run. That's why you only have women swiping right 5% of the time and men swiping right 40 to 50% of the time. Now you know. Because women can't take rejection well. They don't usually do. That's why they don't usually make the first move. Because if they're rejected, it weighs on them. It sits on them, and they can't seem to get over it. Oh well. Did you do a survey to find this out? No, I did the research. I did the background. I did the due diligence. That's one thing I gotta come out with, Leslie, is that I come prepared. That's why it's all in here. But that's the truth. You go on any dating site, that's the ultimate truth. 5% ladies swipe right 5% of the time, men swipe right 40 to 50% of the time. Shout out to Just Pearly Things. So, let's continue.
She will do this in order to rebuild some of her self-respect. Point number 6, a woman and her blue-pilled friends inflating her ego.
Oh.
Now, the two screenshots showed on either side of the screen are typical of the comments a woman will expect to see on her Instagram profile. So, of course...
Hold on. We have a comment there, quite simply. Leslie says again, I think women read the full profile as opposed to men. Leslie, if Michael B. Jordan was at the top of the profile, do you think you're going to read all the way through? If Michael Ealy was at the top of the profile, do you think you're going to read all the way through? If Morris Chestnut was at the top of the profile, do you think you're going to read all the way through? I don't think so. Few more comments. I believe in gender role. Well, thank goodness, Cass, you do. Thank goodness. That's why. We're going to get to that a little later. We like ladies like you. Most gentlemen like ladies like you. And you may save developed world because feminism, you know what? I may do a show on that. Feminism has become a cancer that has pervaded throughout society that's killing chances for women in this world, and I've already gone into that. We'll just go into that next comment here. Agree. Let a man be a man, indeed. But just to answer your question there, Leslie, as I said, if Michael B. Jordan, if Michael Ealy, if Morris Chestnut, if Boris Kodjoe was at the top of the tier, was at his picture, are you going to read through the rest of the comments? No, man. Most women won't. They'll just swipe right. So, we continue.
We have a couple simps giving her free validation, and I have checked their profiles, and they are actually guys. But what's arguably more concerning is her and all of her female friends blowing smoke up one another. In my experience, I see these types of comments vastly outnumbering the ones sent from simps. Here's where you'll see the comments like, "My queen, you're gorgeous, stunner, you go girl." And the dumbest part about all of this isn't the comments themselves. Rather, it's the people that are sending and receiving them. Women will believe anything their friends tell them these days. So if 20 of a girl's female friends are sending these copy and paste comments on every post she uploads, even if the girl herself is average to below average in looks, she's still going to walk away patting herself on the back, thinking she's a lot more attractive than she actually is.
This
She's a perfect 10.
This is where the rubber meets the road. Not only are simps in the DMs calling them queen, calling them lovelies, calling them you're gorgeous, saying this and this and that, trying to curry their favor to try and get in bed with these women, try to start a relationship with these women. Normies and sub fives. You have their friends turning up with comments like "my queen, gorgeous, stunner, go girl," and validating them as well. Here's a question for you ladies that are listening right now. Do you think any man would go into one's DM and tell men, "My king, you're fabulous, you're a stunner, you go boy"? Do you think any man would take the time to do that? Let's just sound it out for me. Hell to the MF no. But you ladies do it every weekend. You would do it every night if necessary. Over a bottle of wine. Over some popcorn. Over some Haagen-Dazs. So once they get this sort of validation, because remember, validation is like catnip to a woman. Attention, like validation, is like a drug to a woman. Once she gets it in her bloodstream, she can't get enough. She needs it. She craves it. So once you are validated by not only simps, but by your friends, guess what? You'll still think you're a 10. Ladies, if you want an equal world, you need to get real. If you want to be taken seriously by gentlemen, you need to get real. You need to realize that, sorry, I'm just taking another drink. You need to realize that the world doesn't owe you favors. The world doesn't owe you validation. You are what you are. You can do the best you can. And when you are at a certain level, you need to get with that level and get on with life. Instead of racking up body counts, potential babies, and ruining your chances with real men. Ruining them. Ruining them. We have a few comments here. Women do read the full profile. You could be cute, but if you don't have no. What's the stuff? Cass, here we go. You know what the substance is? The substance is their career. We know this. Because you can be as good you can be as good as possible. You can be as good looking as you want to be. But if you're not in a career that will impress your friends, that's a demerit point. That's 2 demerit points to a lady. Not only you have to have the looks, you got to have the career as well. That's why men aren't perfect, because we have to build ourselves up. That's why you read the whole profile. That's why you ask, what do you do? Because we're being rated right there. He sounds so angry. No, I'm not angry. Well, in this part, I am a little bit, you know what? I am a bit perturbed. I wouldn't say angry. I'm a bit perturbed because when you ladies think you're 10s, it makes no stinking sense. It doesn't add up. The math is wrong. The math is all wrong. For 95% of you, the math is all wrong, and yet you don't want the correction. You don't want the real answer. That's why I'm slightly perturbed about it. But a bit of CRA always helps. Continue.
Point number 7, entitlements. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I was watching a Darius M video, who's actually one of my favourite channels, and I remember him saying there are lots more overweight women than men. And after that video, I looked it up, and it's true.
Here's a point for you, August. Thank you very much for your comment, as always, but I'm just going to pass this on to you. And most men will tell you this. You're not a 10. Moving on. Actually, all men will tell you that.
And for 16 to 24-year-olds, there are 2 times more obese women than men, 20% versus 10%. And it's a similar pattern for the 25 to 34-year-old age range. And I remember Darius saying the main reason for this is because women don't get in shape because they have no need to. The truth is, men know that if they're obese, no woman is going to want to be with them. But most women know, especially those who are overweight, that men will still be attracted to them even if they are packing extra pounds. And they will be able to tell you that from experience. Now, if this reason...
Pause this for a second. Yes, I've seen myself, August, and I don't see myself as a 10. I've already answered that question, but unfortunately, you didn't get the memo earlier on, so... what? I laugh at you. Off we go.
Then it shows they have a sense of entitlement. It shows they're entitled to somebody more attractive than they are, despite bringing far less to the table and putting in little to no effort. And in fact, I've even seen this in my own personal experiences. I've literally heard overweight women say that they will never date an overweight man. That is entitlement at its simplest form.
Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? This is what I'm talking about, the Lizzo ideal. This is what I'm talking about. The Lizzo ideal believes no matter if I may be a 2, 3, or 4, I'll never date a guy who's in my designated range of looks, dedicated range of value. They'll never see that. They'll always want to date up. That's what they call hypergamy. Women will always try to date as high as they can in terms of looks, in terms of their status, their social status in life. So those at the bottom of the barrel will always try to reach for those Chads and Tyrones when they have no business doing so. None. None. So, when will you get real, ladies? When will the delusion stop? We just had August here calling herself a 10. It's so funny. It really is. It is amazing at this laughter. I mean, if your man sees you as a 10, God love him. But in the open market, that is not the case. We all know better. So stop deluding yourself. It's beneath you. Let us continue.
Finally, moving on to point number 8, coping. What I've noticed is nearly every woman, if you ask them the top 3 things that make them attractive, it will almost undoubtedly be a completely different list from another woman's. Just like the woman from the clip at the beginning. Her 3 reasons for why she is a perfect 10 was because she goes to school, goes to work, and has a good personality. But
That is ridiculous. Because you go to school, work, and have a personality, and breathe right, and stand in heels, and are an actual human being, you're a 10. That is stunning. Stunning. Another 10 has entered the chat. Well, okay. Well, you haven't put yourself in the open market, so we'll disregard that anyway. Anybody who enters the chat is not a 10. Let's just leave it there. How's that? Anybody who enters the chat is not a 10. Do I hate women? No. I think women are beautiful. I've always dated women. And now here we go with the Godfather's playbook of sign language of shame, insults need to be right. Shame, insults, guilt need to be right. Well, here you go. You guys are funny to me. You guys are comedians. I must say, you must get on stage and hold a mic and be in front of a spotlight. Outstanding. Unbelievable. You still want the validation. I cannot believe it. Anyways, you move on.
based on how pretentious she was being, I very much doubt there's much truth to this last one. This woman, if she believes that these 3 things alone make her a perfect 10, is almost certainly coping. Because here are the actual 3 things that men care about most. The holy trinity of what actually makes the perfect 10. First of all, hot. This means not overweight. 2, young, or in other words, under 30. And 3, undamaged. This means not promiscuous and also no kids.
Ladies, you've asked all night what makes a 10. There it is. I told you I'd show you in the end. I told you I'd show you in the end what makes a 10. You must be hot, meaning you must be good looking to most men. 85 to 90% of men out there. If there's any wavering on that, that's a problem. So you must be hot. And that includes not being overweight. As I said to you, the sweet spot is 129 to 168 pounds. If you're over that mark, you're not a 10. Not even close. So please, you're a woman hater. Oh my gosh, these girls are, it's like, God, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's all perspective. No, it's not perspective, because us men are telling you what it is. Don't try and change things, Cass. I love you. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you all the ladies for your participation tonight. I love you still. I still love you. But I'm just telling you the truth. And I'd rather tell you the ugly truth than a pretty lie, because you've been fed pretty lies. Sweet, pretty lies to prop up your self-esteem and egos. That's the problem. And men hate it. Just letting you know, ladies, men hate it. Unless you're a simp, then you get off on that sort of thing. But anyways, again, the holy trinity of what makes a woman a 10 or a near 10, but nobody's perfect. Nobody's a perfect 10, as I said. What makes a perfect 10? Outside of those delusional ladies up top. They're so funny. Here's the deal. Number 1, you gotta be hot. Not overweight, meaning you're in that 129 to 168 range, or if not lower, you can take it down to 110 and still be hot. Absolutely, go to the white end of the spectrum. Let's do that. Number 2, you got to be young, under 30 years old. You have to show youth. You must show us your youth. Yeah? Usually those are the nines, 8, 9s, if you are so blessed. Yes. You tend to be of that younger age. But this is, this is whiteys again, black don't crack and everything else. So you can extend it up to about 35 if necessary. But that's about as far as it goes. 35 tops. You're not taking 10 past that. You're not. You're not. And number 3, you're undamaged. That means no kids. That means you're not promiscuous. That means you don't have a body count over 25. I'm talking to you, ladies. I see you out there. I see you out there. And the thing about it is, men get the knowledge, whether you like it or not. Why? The streets talk. That's why. The streets talk. Your actions tell on you. Continuing, we have a few more comments. Women in my age group have children, and if they are single, they are looking for men that have children. Well, I hope so. I hope they are looking for men that have kids, because men don't want to be stepkids. They don't want to be stepdads. They don't want a raw deal. Simple as that. They don't. Unless it's somebody extra special, unless they're a sexual Olympian and they are a gourmet chef. Then, okay. We'll consider it, but there's no guarantee. And then we have the next comment. No one could tell me because I have children. I'm over 30. I'm not saying you're not desirable. Who said you're not desirable? I'm saying you're not a 10. Not saying you're not desirable. Absolutely not. Men will love you and sleep with you, but the key is, and I hope I can be candid with you here, Cass, because I know you're a great member. I thank you very much for joining me. I thank for all the ladies for joining me on Talk Live. Thank you. But what the key is to keep a man there. The key is, can you be the one to keep these men around for the long term? If you can do that, all the power to you. But no one's a 10. Let's get that out the way right now. No one is a 10. And who wants to marry you too? Yes, of course. Oh, absolutely. I would love the invitation. Listen, I'm not against men who take the plunge and want to do it, but at the end of the day, for most men who don't have kids, it's a raw deal, because if you built yourself to be the person who wants to be top tier, who wants to live a lifestyle that is of a certain amount of affluence, you have to, at the end of the day, you want your legacy built on women who are childless, for the most part. We do. There are anomalies. There are those, stories in which, but that does not put aside the rule. It doesn't. So, the 3, you need to be hot. You need to be gorgeous. As Kevin would say, gorgeous, beautiful, or just plain down, stand out, beautiful, hot, without fail. And that goes across the board. Not only does it happen in our own race, but all over the map. You need to be considered that hot. You need to be young, 30, I'll border on 35, but not over that, because that's when, of course, you're at your, you can't have kids, really. You're at risk pregnancy at that time. You can have kids, but you're at risk pregnancy, which means, okay. And you tend to be undamaged, meaning that you're not promiscuous and you have no kids. That is as close to a 10 as you can get. Have a few more comments here. Want to marry me? Okay, well, if he wants to marry you, absolutely. Everybody's a wedding. That's great. That's right. Who is striving to be a 10? Wow, you had a few up. You had a few comments ago. Who said they were 10s? I was like, what? You had a few. Let's call them out. Hold on, just a second. We had let me see here. Let me see. Let's see here. I had Nikita. Oh, wait a second. There we go. We had, wait for it. We had Nikita, said she was a 10. Cass, she said, yes, a 10 has entered the chat, she said. And we had August say she was a 10 too. There are two people who said they were 10. They walked in off rip and said they were 10s. Good luck with that. Another comment. If a man has children, why would he need more? Because he would. Because he would want to? Because he can afford it? Because he wants a bigger legacy? Yeah, that's why. There you go. Children are expensive. Well, if a man can afford it, who are we to judge? If a man has children, why would he need? Okay, well, I already answered that question. Anyways, we move on with the subject. Now you know what a perfect 10 is. Okay, and I'll give you a few more indications of what makes a person nearer to a 10. We'll continue.
This is what men actually want. And the funny thing is, what I've noticed is when women are young, when they list reasons of what makes them attractive, they're likely to say things such as, I'm pretty, fit, young, therefore this makes me an 8. Meanwhile, when you ask older women, or even worse, the exact same women but just 10 to 15 years older, they're likely to give you a different list of the things that make them attractive. Such as, I have a career, I have 2 gorgeous kids, and am financially stable. Therefore, I'm also an 8. This is also coping.
My man here just gave you the definition of coping. Coping is when you try to put up qualities that that people don't look for to validate your part of a group. That's what coping is. You try to say that you belong through criteria that doesn't. That's what coping is. So to say that she's pretty, fit, and young, therefore I'm an 8. That's good. That's relatively good. You're at your hottest. You're at your sexual peak when you're at your youngest. Yes. So one can justify them saying they're an 8. But if you say that you're an 8 because you have a career, gorgeous, and money, we don't care about those things. Men don't care about your career. We don't care about, unless you're desperate for money. Men don't care about your career. We don't care about your 2 gorgeous kids, as much as they are, but they're important to you, not to us. And we don't care about your money. Don't care about your money. Never did. So for you ladies thinking that your career will buy love, wrong. Let me repeat that. If you think your career will buy you love, you're wrong. What buys you love with us is if you're fit, you're feminine, you're friendly, you're cooperative, you're submissive, you're single, and you're childless. Those are the 7 key points to being wanted by men. If you fit all those parameters, life becomes pretty smooth after that, especially with the masculine sex. Yeah. You tend to keep yourself fit. You tend to keep yourself feminine. Don't get masculine here. Ladies, you got to work on that. If you have to go to school to find that out, do so. Because if men detect any sort of masculinity in you, they will move on. They will tend to move on. Unless we love the abuse. Unless we're cucks ourselves. We'll move on. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Plus, you got to be friendly. Plus, you got to be submissive. Yes, it's a harsh word, but it's true. Those who tend to be submissive tend to be wives. Just saying. They tend not to be alone. They tend to have generational wealth. Just saying. Just saying. It's up to you if you want to accept it. This is a free and Democratic society. Plus, you need to be cooperative. Ladies, here's the deal. And cooperation's key because men will go down in looks to go up in cooperation. That's why I see a lot of average women being married because they want to cooperate with their men. They want to be on a plan with their men towards a solid life with each other. They'll tend to be cooperative. We'll go down in looks to go up in cooperation. Cass says, what does a 50-year-old have in common with a 25? Is this a man or a woman you're talking about, Cass? I'm just asking. But yes. But we don't deal with coping, us men out here. We are very black and white. Very adroit in terms of our views. So, to coat your score with career, your gorgeous kids and money falls on deaf ears unless it does. Sorry, ladies, it does. Continuing. Oh, let me get that there. Hold on a second. Back on. There we go. Go.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, these days, nearly every woman has their own list of cope reasons for why they're more attractive than everyone else. And they will change it where they see fit and based on their own strengths. But the truth is, men see very little value outside of the holy trinity of female attractiveness. All lists that deviate from these three things are coping. Anyway, guys, that's it for my 8 reasons.
So there it is. So all those ladies who are up there saying, oh, you hate women, oh, you think, what happened to you? Who hurt you? Who did you wrong? Do you love your mother? We laugh at that. Those are old school feminist ways of trying to satiate what the red pill, what the MGTOW, what the manosphere, the black manosphere have been going on for the last 10 years and is spreading like wildfire. So anything that you have to say, ladies, those old tricks won't work on us anymore. They won't. A few more comments there. So when does a 50-year-old man have in common with a 25-year-old man? Not really. I mean, a 50-year-old man would have more money. He would be a little more set in life. He can afford to give a 25-year-old woman more or less anything she wants. If in that tax bracket, let me say that. And so it is the great equalizer to have age on your side, especially the men. If you kept yourself in relatively good shape, if you worked on game, if you have not fallen to these idealistic tropes and very humorous ways of trying to get a man out their game through sign language, then you can be of an age where a gentleman can start calling shots. And where women will still fall on a man's feet, even if they're 25 and he's 50. You know why? Because he has the cost to pay the boss. He has the skills to pay the bills, and he paid the cost to be the boss. So that's the difference. A man may have youth on their side, but a man has to still build his legacy. He has to still work hard in order to afford the good things in life. So therefore, the man at 50s had a slight advantage to the man at 25, even though the sex drive is not the same, of course. I mean, but if you're in shape, you have a pretty good run at it, I'll tell you that. But anyways, we move on. When a man has already had children and is 45 and 50, he's not looking for a young child. Yeah, well. You ever heard of Hugh Hefner? Cass? He had kids, and even at 81. Now, again, Hugh Hefner was, found out to be a sexual deviant. So, lesser said of him, the better. Let me use a better example. Let's call for Idris Elba. Perfect example. Idris is in his 50s. He's got kids, yet he married a younger woman. So, to say that for a guy like Idris Elba is a bit facetious. When a man has already had kids and 45, he's not looking for a young childless woman. Yes, he is. And his name is Idris Elba. Yes. He married a younger, no kids lady. Are you going to doubt his hotness? No, please. Doubt his hotness. Tell me Idris Elba does not look good. Tell me. Please tell me. I'd love to hear it. Tell People Magazine why he's not the sexiest man alive. Please tell me. Not the man I know. Of course. Well, you will hide your head in the sand on that premise. Not the man I know. No, he had kids. He's had kids before, Idris. He's had kids. Yet he married a younger woman. Yes, he did. So, what now? Actually, that sort of thing happens from time immemorial. This has been happening since the dawn of time. Men will mate with one, then in his older age, he may want to mate with another. It's only through the institution of marriage that that's been outlawed. So, there you go. Looks aren't everything. You got to have something. No, listen, you're changing the goalposts now, Cash. You know this. I know this. I've answered your question. And God love you for them. God love you for them. A soul. Oh, okay, what is this? Oh my gosh! It's very good that you're looking for souls now. I don't know if you're the Grim Reaper or what. Intelligence, yes, absolutely. You're looking for intelligence, but listen. We're on to a subject why women are not 10s, and I've shown you why through simping, through hookups and through hookups equaling a higher value, even though it leads to a higher body count, that if you tell a man will only demerit you. Acceptance of unattractiveness, that means the bigger you are, the less attractive you become, even though fat acceptance, body positivity tells us the illusion of different. Media promoting delusion, like 50 Shades of Grey and Sex in the City, telling ladies, at any age that, you can get a Chad for, a little or zero amount of money. All it is about will and positive thinking, ego, whereby, if you swipe right on the Chad, then you can give grace to the normie. And if not, then you'll punish the normie. Then you have blue-pilled friends who literally tell you you're gorgeous, you're lovely, you're a queen, you're this, you're that, pumping up your ego, your entitlement, whereby you think that a Chad is for anybody, including Lizzo. That's why she's in her feelings on Instagram. And then there's coping, which says that, quite simply, my money, my career, and my kids are good enough to make me a 10. And with all that, that's why women aren't a 10. But I have something to add to that. Ladies, life teaches us many things. And one thing life teaches us is, through experience, why you're not a 10. In other words, your circumstances would be different, well different, if you were a 10 or close to a 10. Let me give you an example. Ladies, if you are regularly, and I'm not talking about once in the blue moon, regularly invited to VIP by a gentleman where you didn't have to pay for anything on the evening, and I mean regularly, I mean whenever you went out, you were through the line, through the velvet rope, into dancing around and shuttle up to VIP without question, without fail, on every moment's notice, you tend to be an 8, 9, or 10. If you are gracing top magazines, or if you're a model yourself, if you tend to be on the cover of Vogue, or if you intend to be on the cover of Mademoiselle, or if you're on the cover of any sort of fashion magazine, or if you run the walkway. Now again, yes, okay, plus size is there, but again, this is part of the fat acceptance, body positivity, body neutrality movement. But if you are a part of this group and you're of a certain size and shape, then you tend to be an 8, 9, or 10. If you tend to be married a bit earlier than usual, say within your 23-year-old to 28, 9-year-old range, and you have not prioritized career or food over a man, and you've kept yourself fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, you'll tend to be an 8, 9, or 10, and people will know that. In other words, your life circumstances will be so much different than where you are today. For most women, you tend to be living in a, middle class, upper class environment. You tend to be ladies who lunch. I once worked at a Sporto when I was in England, and it used to be a high-end club. Guess what? If you are, and most of those ladies who were in that club during lunchtime hours, they had nothing to do, tended to be 8, 9s, and 10s. Tended to be. Yes, they were. If you're in England right now and you're watching this, go into a Sporto from 11 o'clock to 3 p.m. Look at the amount of ladies who walk in there who have nothing to do but drink wine with their friends and chat about their idyllic lives. They tend to be 8, 9s, and 10s. They tend to go to the top schools. They tend to be educated in lovely locales of the world. Their lifestyles are that much different from ordinary ladies, average ladies, and there's nothing wrong with that. You ladies are nothing wrong with that. But don't think for a minute that we don't think that you are 8, 9s, and 10s. Because you're not. And it really grinds our gears. Unless you're a simp. And even simps need love. So, ladies, it would behoove you, and I mean behoove you, to get real with yourselves. Because it's now 2022, soon to be 2023, and men aren't tolerating the crap anymore. These idealistic slogans and thought processes are not taking anymore. They're not. They simply are not. Shall I play this? Yeah, maybe I should play this. Yes. If you're looking at Talking to Talk Live right now, I've got a sample of the Godfather himself, Kevin Samuels, in one of his classic 2 million view clips. Here he's talking to a lady who sees herself as a 10, deserving of an 8, 9, or 10, thinking that a woman with 2 kids and a tattoo on her chest and arms, shoulders, and breasts is deserving of a top tier guy, which happens all too often in our day and age. Let's have a listen, shall we? the delusion that all those little tenets I showed you, those 8 reasons why women are 8, 9s, and 10s that this woman and that those women I talked to earlier didn't key on to. That's the reason why Kevin had that, how tall are you? Your dress size? What was the weight you were last weighed yourself? What would you rate yourself 1 to 10? And you can't include 7. That's the reason why he did that. Because he wanted you to get real with yourself. And Kevin's work wasn't done. Thank you for the comment there, Cass. I miss Uncle Kev. I miss the Godfather as well. I really did. But he wanted women, black women in particular, to get real with themselves because they, among most of these women, they above all else, have this delusion fixated in their heads that they are 10s. The 2 ladies that came up just the other time, just earlier, they thought they were 10s too, and guess what they were? Black too. They thought they were black too. That's why you're the least dated women on dating apps. Because you're delusional. That's part of the reason. Your masculinity is another part, but that's part of the reason you're delusional. Most women would get real themselves. They rate themselves, okay, listen, I fall within a certain ranking, but black women, no. They are line steppers when it comes to this. Absolute line steppers. This woman who's on Talk to Talk Live, like, subscribe, comment. We're here talking about why women are not 10s tonight. That's why these women here had to be level set. He was speaking to the young black woman. He was telling her. But she couldn't believe, and I pointed this out already when I was talking about the sense of entitlement. When we're talking about entitlement, where women of below average looks would see themselves having a shot, a literal shot, with high-end men, with the Chads and Tyrones, with the high-value men of this world, is absolutely stunning. And what did she do? She coped. That's her coping right there. She says, when she says, oh, I see these women with men all the time. That's coping. She knows good and damn well that is not the case. But she's coping anyway. The only way you see that is if a man started out with this woman from the bottom. He was an average Joe himself. He was a Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos didn't just get looks after a while. No. He was an ordinary guy. She was an ordinary girl. They built one of the biggest companies in the world. They grew together. She got her $500 billion and left. But guess who Jeff got afterwards? Oh, he got himself a dime piece. Oh yeah. No matter how well. That's open to interpretation. But anyways, you know the get. You get what I mean. This is what we're left with. This way. When you have a sense of entitlement, when you have media telling you you're beautiful at any size, she thinks she has a shot at a Chris Evans. She thinks she has a shot at an Idris Elba. She thinks she has a shot at Michael Ealy. She thinks she has a shot at Aquaman. What's his name? You ladies would know. She thinks she has a shot at him. But that's not the case. Because we know you're not a 10. And no matter what type of propping up Madison Avenue, your friends, sex, simps, teaches you, that'll never be the case. We continue.
They don't have big chest tattoos either. And 2 other kids. Man, I'm just saying, okay, I want to know, let's be honest. Why should an average woman say she's settling for an average man?
There's nothing wrong with it.
when you have a woman that insists on money, yes, to pay bills and such, but you have insist on a man of high value with money, and you have 2 kids and a chest tattoo, that's a problem. It's a problem with society. There's a problem with you. That's why Kevin had the level set. That's why ladies got on. We're so upset with him because he finally level set women. He level set them. After 50 years of propping up, he level set them. So sad. His work, because his work wasn't done. He was starting to reach them, but his work was not indeed done. It wasn't done. Because you still have these women out here believing, despite their circumstances, despite what life has taught them over time, that they deserve high value men. They deserve the best of the best. What? They think they're 10s. She thinks she's a 10. She is. And this is the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the absolute problem. Because women are seen as 10s, they see themselves as above men. Most men, hardworking men, men that would be suitable for a lady like this. They would see them as past that. Where 50 years ago, she would never question that ideal because of simping, because of hookups and value, because of acceptance and unattractiveness, because of media promoting delusion, because of ego, blue pill friends, entitlement and coping. She believes, this lady right here of 2 kids with a business, fine, but who's clearly overweight, believes that she should be deserving of the best of men. She thinks she's a 10. I don't understand it. If the roles were reversed, we couldn't buy this. We could not buy this. We couldn't. We simply could not. We would be gobsmacked. If any fat man would literally say, oh, I deserve Halle Berry, or I deserve an Instagram model, or I deserve the best that women have to offer in terms of beauty, not only men, but women would give us a shake. They would literally give us a shake. Because we would be considered out of our minds. So why can't the reverse be true? Because society has taught us that you can't tell a woman she's not a 10. Simps have taught us you can't tell a woman she can't be a 10. You'll face press back like I did today. But at the end of the day, that's how you fight back. By telling them again and again until it actually appears real that you are not a 10. A lot of women get it, but a lot of women don't. And I would say the majority of women don't. They don't get it. They don't get it. Because they've been sold an absolute ruse of a story. They've been fed a lie. Cosmopolitan says that you can have it all. You can be a 10. In what lifetime? In what lifetime? Just because you breathe, go to school, have an education, that's called being an adult, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies, that's what's called being an adult. Men understand that. Women, unfortunately, especially modern women, especially 3 or 4 women, especially these city girl women, don't. They think, I become more valuable through my body count. Try telling us your body count. No, go ahead. Try telling us your body count, ladies. Go up to the man that you want to be serious with and tell him your body count. See how far that gets you. Tell him your actual body count. How many men you slept with over your sexual life. See what I mean? You won't. You dare not because of the repercussions that come with it. Continuing. As I said before, and I'll say again, that's the reason why high-value men in their 40s and 50s get high-value women in their 20s, because they earn $10,000 a year or more. They're accepted by a person, by a high-value man. They're LinkedIn level. They are good to those within the group. And they have something offered to the group. That's how high-value men are high-value men. But even a high-value man wouldn't consider himself a 10. He wouldn't. He wouldn't. But women, on the other hand, who really feel in their heart of hearts they are 10s, and they need that propping up, even though their results don't show it. Fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, single, childless, feminine, beautiful, inspirational. Where's the proof? But all they can say, as they said at the beginning of the show, they say, I pay bills, I work, I have a degree. You know what that would be in men's language? In manese? You know what that sort of thing would be in manese? That's a 5, basically a 6. That's an average guy. Not a 10, a 5. 5. Not a 10. Just because you live, breathe, relatively healthy, and can pay bills, and have gone to school and got it and obtained a degree through hard work and due diligence, you are a 5. What makes you above average than that are a few other parameters that we can get into, including your face shape, your body weight, how much money you make, how much you're worth, your penis size, your sexual drive, your cool, your game. All these things you have to build as a man. This doesn't come easy. It doesn't come for free. So for you ladies to say that a woman who's clearly overweight with 2 kids deserves a man who's worked his life to make himself the best he can be, and or he is a chatter Tyrone, is rich. Extremely rich. And you know who usually professes that deal? That everybody's latched onto these days? It's our women. Unfortunately, it's our women. They're the ones who led the charge. They're making an HBO special on the poster child of 10s at any size. Lizzo. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Well, the world will tell you different. Let's just let this continue. No, you cannot get there. As we said earlier on, the reason where makes you a high value woman? What makes you a 10 or a close to a 10? We've already proved it in the last feature here, and I'll go back to it. Here we go. You must be hot, you must be young, you must be undamaged. Does she look hot, young, or undamaged? Does she look like she has a low body count? Does she look like she has youth on her side? Does she look like she is being called out to grace the cover of Vogue anytime soon? And that goes for most of you ladies. Most of you. 80 to 90% of you. Does that go for all of you? It's time to level set. If you want to be considered equal to a man, start thinking like one. Start thinking if you want our respect. Because we'll never expect you to say you're a 10. Oh, I'm a 10, and then you got a simp saying, oh, you're a 10. No. I'll give you a quick instance. A woman I was dating at one time, she's saying, I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10. I told her straight out, you're an adjustable 6. I told her straight out. I told her, you're an adjustable 6. That's it. She said, a girlfriend was saying, oh, how can you say that? Because it's true. Oh, you're supposed to, tell them they're a 10. Get their ego heightened, make them feel good about themselves. No, because they'll carry that into society. That's why. As I said, validation and attention are like drugs to women. Drugs. Absolute drugs. Do you want to keep feeding them these drugs even though it's not good for them? I ask you, do you want to keep feeding drugs to a person that it's not good for, that it's not true for? You're selling them a dream. Why are you selling them a dream that you know that's true? I don't get it. Seriously, I don't get it. Until men get real with themselves, this attitude won't change. We need to stop simping for these ladies. We really, really, really do. Until we start seeing the hot, the young, and the undamaged. Until we stop sleeping with the lower among us. With ladies who think of themselves, who judge body count to raise their value. This won't change. These attitudes won't change. They won't. They'll still consider themselves 10s. Yeah. They'll still consider themselves absolute 10s. There it is, people. He said it himself. It's because of Instagram. It's because of TikTok. It's because of social media. It's because of simps. It's because of hookup culture. It's because of fat acceptance / body positivity / body relativity / media / ego / your friends / entitlement / coping that has brought this on. All these things are new age ideas. 80 years ago, nobody heard of simping. Nobody heard of hookup culture. Nobody heard of acceptance of unattractiveness. Nobody heard of media promoting delusion. Nobody heard of, ego was still around, but it didn't go to the heights as it did in dating culture. Nobody heard of blue pill friends. Nobody heard of entitlement, and nobody heard of coping because people knew where they stood in the world. It showed in their experiences. So ladies, as in modern nomenclature would say, stop the cap. Stop kidding yourselves. Because you're not doing yourself any favors. You're not. We know different. We're going to choose who we're going to choose. And you and society and hookups and media and simps aren't going to tell us different. We're not. We simply aren't. And the sooner you understand that, the better. The only way you're going to better yourself, quite simply, and this is easy enough. Get yourself fit. Get yourself feminine. If you have to take feminine class to do it and stop the masculinity, please do. Get yourself friendlier. Don't have a resting bitch face because that doesn't do you any favors. None. Smile, the world smiles with you. Cry, you cry alone. Become more cooperative. Become more submissive. Because we will go down in looks to go up in cooperation. These have all been told to you, but if you want to hide your head in sand, so be it. But, as we said, the sweet spot in terms of weight, 129 to 168. That's the sweet spot. That's the healthy spot. That's what gets you noticed. That's what gets your foot in the door. If you don't want it, it's up to you. Totally fine. There are the pink alternatives. There are dogs and cats. Let this play out, and then we will call it a night.
So if I wanted a high value man, what do I do? Be reincarnated.
Play that again. Oh my gosh, Kevin, you've gone too soon, man. You've gone way too soon.
Wanted a high value man, what do I do? Be reincarnated.
That's right. Be reincarnated. For some of you, for a lot of you, for most of you, because you'll always go to the path of least resistance, you would rather fool us than work hard for us. You would rather not do what it takes to get a man of high value. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. So it falls on deaf ears. And look at her first question. What would it take for me to find a high value man? No. Your first question should be, what should it take to find me a man? You have 2 kids. You're overweight. You're over 200 pounds. And you're of average looks. But you're a 10, right? Ladies, get real. The one thing that men respect is reality, and a dose of reality. If you are real with yourselves and you are working hard to change your outlook on life and your circumstances, we will always respect that. That's the thing to take away from this, ladies. I'll never leave you hanging in the lurch. I'll always give you a lifeline. Here's the lifeline. Get real with yourself, work hard, and don't give up. And think before you call yourself a 10. Think. Do your outcomes in life say so? If it doesn't, don't call yourself a 10. Call yourself a lady in improvement. A lady who's trying to be the best she can be. If you give us that, we'll give you all the plaudits in the world. But if you call yourself a 10, then that's half the battle lost. Let's say that. Half the battle is lost. We're going to leave it there. Thank you for joining me on Talk Live. Today was a great show, a long show, a lot of banter. I loved it. Really, really receptive. Really enjoyed being here with you guys. We're going to be back on Thursday night. Like, subscribe, and comment. Look forward to seeing you then. Tonight's show was sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTALK.com. Thank you for joining me tonight. Tonight was a great show. Tonight was a really, really good show. Really, really, really good. I enjoyed it. I really did. I like the banter. I like this. It's really cool. It's really good. But again, ladies, you're not 10s. 99% of you aren't. I would say 95. We'll give you 95. 95% of you aren't 10s. You just aren't. You just aren't 10s. Stop lying to yourselves that you're 10s. You're not. If men have to cope, if you want to be our equals, consider yourself a work in progress. Men would much respect you for that and understand that you're in improvement than anything else. Start finding men. Here are a few solutions for you. Let's go back to that chart. I'll do this quickly. Stop. Well, I know simping ain't easy, but so you'll always listen to that. But stop raising your body count. Get yourself in shape. Stop believing that media is catering to you, because it's not. It's just feeding you delusion. Stop following your ego, because your ego will always lead you down a dark path. Stop following your blue pill friends and get with reality and realize that you can improve without their help. Because men have to do it alone. Why can't you? Stop feeling entitled that you can go for 8, 9s, and 10s when you cannot. You clearly cannot, and you know you cannot. Because they didn't 80 years ago, and it worked out just fine for society. Just fine. Went a little high there. Just fine. And stop coping. Stop thinking your job. Stop thinking your money. Stop thinking your kids make you into a 10, because it doesn't. We all know what the holy trinity is when it comes to 10s, and that is hotness, youth, and lower body count. And this has gone on from time immemorial, and it won't change. So, ladies, get with the program, and I wish you well on your journey through life. Thank you for joining me on Talk Live. We're going to go back to our original channel. Thank you so much. This was a great show. Really, really great show. We're going to get out of here. Here we go. Back to full cam. Thank you so much for joining me on Talk Live tonight. It was a really great show. And it'll be uploaded on YouTube. I'm going to get this chopped up and put out on the major platforms that we have here. We'll be back on Thursday night. Thank you for joining me, and look forward to speaking to you again. If you talk